How would you feel if you applied for a job and the posting required you to be young, single, and have long black hair? Or if you stepped into a street surrounded by a swirling mass of motorbikes moving around you like a living, breathing dance? Have you ever imagined sharing a drink with friends in a park or even on the sidewalk? In Vietnam, these are just parts of everyday life. But in the United States, they're either illegal or completely unthinkable. From love hotels to balut public drinking to motorbike mayhem, we're uncovering the incredible cultural differences between Vietnam and the United States. 1. Unusual norms. Imagine browsing job postings and instead of focusing on skills, the ads specify physical traits like being a woman between 20 and 25, unmarried with long black hair. Applicants are even required to include a personal photo with their resume. While this might seem shocking or even discriminatory elsewhere, in Vietnam it's a common practice, especially in industries like hospitality, retail, and customer service. In many other countries, such hiring requirements would be illegal, but here, they are woven into the fabric of the recruitment process. To understand this, it's essential to look deeper into Vietnam's culture and demographics. With a median age of just over 32 years as of 2024, Vietnam has one of the youngest populations in Southeast Asia. This youthful workforce is particularly prized in roles that demand interaction with the public. In Vietnam, appearance often plays a significant role in defining professional image. For customer-facing jobs, companies frequently seek individuals who align with traditional ideals of beauty and energy. It's not just about physical looks, it's about projecting a sense of vitality, warmth, and hospitality. But these practices spark important questions. Do they unfairly exclude skilled professionals based solely on age or appearance? And how do Vietnamese women perceive these expectations? One woman shared her experience applying for a position at a high-end retail store in Hanoi. She described her nervousness when preparing her resume, knowing the importance of the photo. "I spent hours choosing the right outfit and hairstyle," she said. "When I got the job, my boss told me my photo sealed the deal." While she felt excited at first, she later wondered if her skills or appearance had truly earned her the role. What are your thoughts on these hiring practices? Have you ever been required to include a photo with your resume? Share your experiences and opinions in the comments below. And this is just the beginning. Job advertisements are only one aspect of Vietnam's fascinating cultural contrasts. From love hotels to public drinking, there's much more to explore. Stay tuned as we dive deeper into the surprising and often astonishing customs of this captivating country. 2. Love hotels. Public displays of affection such as kissing or holding hands are often seen as disrespectful in Vietnam, a culture that values modesty. Couples, especially younger ones, tend to avoid sitting too close in public spaces. Yet in cities and small towns across Vietnam, love hotels are easy to spot. These establishments stand out with their bright, romantic-themed designs and signage. Many even advertise hourly rates, complete with photos of colorful rooms featuring mood lighting and round beds. Why are they so common? The answer lies in Vietnam's family structure. Many households include multiple generations under one roof. Parents, siblings, grandparents, and sometimes extended relatives all living together. Privacy, especially for young couples, is almost non-existent. For those in their 20s, bringing a partner home isn't just awkward, it's considered inappropriate. Even older married couples face privacy challenges. Whether reigniting romance or seeking discretion, many turn to love hotels as a solution. These hotels provide a private space for intimacy, helping couples maintain their relationships without disrupting family dynamics. In fact, their presence often helps preserve social harmony in a culture where personal space is limited. Vietnam's booming tourism industry also plays a role in their popularity. With millions of tourists visiting each year, love hotels cater to locals and travelers alike, offering affordable short-term stays. Curious about Vietnam's unique dishes like balut eggs or snake-infused wine? Stick around. We'll explore these exotic delicacies in the next segment. But first, take 5 seconds to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss our upcoming adventures. 3. Food and culinary culture. Vietnamese cuisine is famous for its bold flavors and daring ingredients, offering dishes that intrigue and challenge Western tastes. Take balut, for instance, a popular delicacy in Vietnam and across Southeast Asia. Known for its rich flavor and high nutritional value, it's a cherished treat. But in places like the United States, this dish is often considered strange and culturally unfamiliar. Then there's snake wine, a traditional drink believed to enhance health and vitality. Both a cultural emblem and an adventurous experience, it's widely available in rural areas and tourist markets in Vietnam. However, it faces bans in many Western countries due to concerns over animal rights and potential health hazards. Other foods, like grilled frogs or crispy insects, might surprise visitors, but in Vietnam they're celebrated as nutritious, sustainable, and affordable. This dynamic street food culture highlights the nation's ability to turn the ordinary into something extraordinary. Vietnam's culinary traditions are rooted in resourcefulness, shaped by centuries of hardship and resilience. In times of scarcity, people learned to make the most of what they had, creating dishes that are now considered national treasures. Would you try these daring and unique dishes? Are there unconventional foods in your country that might surprise others? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. But food is just one window into Vietnam's culture. Next, we'll explore a surprising aspect of daily life, why public drinking and even underage drinking is not only common, but celebrated in this fascinating country. 4. Public drinking and nightlife. In Vietnam, drinking alcohol isn't just a casual activity, it's a deeply rooted social custom. Whether it's a gathering of friends, a family celebration, or even a business meeting, alcohol often takes center stage, bringing people together and breaking down social barriers. Picture Hanoi's bustling beer streets, where tables overflow onto the sidewalks filled with locals and tourists enjoying Vietnam's iconic fresh beer. At just about 25 cents a glass, it's among the cheapest beers in the world, making it accessible to everyone. But this vibrant drinking culture isn't confined to bars or restaurants. Public drinking is a common sight on street corners, at local markets, or during family picnics in the park. Unlike Western countries such as the United States, where public alcohol consumption is heavily restricted, in Vietnam, it's simply a way of life. This openness extends beyond just where people drink. In Vietnam, social drinking transcends walls and rules, spilling into streets and parks, creating an atmosphere that's lively and inclusive. It's a sharp contrast to the stricter norms in the United States, where laws tightly regulate alcohol use and driving under the influence is harshly penalized. However, this freedom isn't without its challenges. Public drunkenness, while generally tolerated, can sometimes lead to risky situations. I've seen motorbike attendants helping intoxicated individuals onto their bikes, carefully guiding them into traffic with calm hands and hopeful smiles. The lack of strict DUI enforcement has raised concerns, especially in a country where motorbikes rule the roads. 5. Cultural celebrations. Lunar New Year, or Tet, is Vietnam's most important holiday. Celebrating the arrival of spring, it's a time for families to come together, honor their ancestors, and invite good fortune for the year ahead. One of Tet's most iconic traditions is the lighting of firecrackers. Long strings of bright red firecrackers are ignited to ward off bad luck and welcome prosperity. While firecrackers are a hallmark of Tet in Vietnam, they are banned in countries like the United States due to safety concerns. Even in Vietnam, government restrictions introduced in the late 1990s limited their use. However, their symbolic significance keeps them alive in certain areas and during regulated events. Another intriguing Tet custom is the burning of paper offerings. Families gather to burn replicas of money, houses, and even luxury items like cars or smartphones. These offerings are believed to provide comfort and wealth to ancestors in the afterlife. To outsiders, this might seem unusual, but in Vietnam, it's a deeply sacred practice that strengthens the connection between the living and the departed. Recent data from Vietnam's Ministry of Culture shows that nearly 80% of families continue to burn paper offerings during major celebrations. This ancient ritual highlights the enduring importance of family in Vietnamese culture. Women are central to these vibrant traditions. They take charge of preparing elaborate feasts, decorating homes, and ensuring each ritual is carried out perfectly. These tasks, often passed down through generations, reflect their vital role in preserving cultural heritage. Beyond their work in the kitchen, women oversee the family altar, carefully arranging offerings and leading prayers to honor their ancestors. Their contributions not only uphold tradition, but also reinforce the family's unity and spiritual bonds. 6. Death and mourning practices. In Vietnam, visiting a cemetery isn't just about placing flowers, it's about sharing a meal. On special occasions like the anniversary of a loved one's passing or during festivals such as Tet Thanh Minh, the Vietnamese version of the Qing Ming Festival, families gather at ancestors' graves to eat, share stories, and pray together. This tradition is both symbolic and practical. By dining together, families strengthen their bond with the deceased, inviting them to join the meal in spirit. To outsiders, this might seem unusual, especially in countries like the United States, where public health regulations or zoning laws often prohibit such practices in cemeteries. One of Vietnam's most distinctive and spiritually significant rituals is exhuming and reburying remains. Typically performed years after the initial burial, families carefully unearth the remains, cleanse them in a solemn ceremony, and re-enter them in a smaller, more permanent grave. Although this practice might appear unsettling to outsiders, in Vietnam, it's an act of profound respect and love. This process ensures the deceased's spirit rests peacefully and that the family's connection to their loved one remains intact. These traditions reflect the deeply rooted Vietnamese value of filial piety, the belief that respecting one's parents and ancestors forms the foundation of a virtuous life. While such customs might be restricted or misunderstood in Western cultures, in Vietnam they are cherished as vital aspects of family life. Women play a central role in these ceremonies. They prepare the meals for the graveside gatherings, lead prayers, and ensure that every detail of the ritual is performed correctly. Their dedication and resilience shine in these traditions. As keepers of family history, women pass down these customs, ensuring the family's spiritual and cultural bonds remain unbroken. Modern life has brought changes to these practices. Urbanization and limited space have led to smaller cemeteries, and some families now opt for simpler rituals due to busy schedules. Yet, even in Vietnam's rapidly growing cities, the heart of these traditions endures, a testament to the culture's ability to adapt while preserving its roots. 7. To transportation and traffic. Motorbikes dominate the streets of Vietnam, visible everywhere you turn. With over 50 million motorbikes registered as of the year 2024, Vietnam has one of the densest motorcycle populations in the world. These two-wheeled machines weave through traffic, overtake cars, and spill onto sidewalks when roads become too crowded. In bustling cities like Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, where narrow streets and gridlocked traffic are part of daily life, motorbikes are the fastest and most practical way to navigate. From young professionals heading to work to street vendors delivering their goods, nearly everyone depends on motorbikes to get around. Traffic laws in Vietnam can be described as flexible. Sidewalks are not just for pedestrians, they double as parking lots, markets, and surprisingly, additional lanes for motorbikes. For locals, this is simply a normal day. For tourists, however, it's an adrenaline-filled experience that demands constant awareness. Vietnam's motorbike culture is both inventive and practical. It's not unusual to see a family of 4 balancing on a single motorbike, with parents in the front and back and 2 children sandwiched between. Motorbikes also carry astonishing loads, from furniture and appliances to live animals and towering stacks of goods that seem to defy the laws of physics. Crossing the street in Vietnam is an adventure of its own. Traffic flows continuously with no clear gaps or stops. Pedestrians must step forward with confidence, trusting that riders will instinctively navigate around them. It's a delicate dance of mutual awareness, where eye contact and small movements replace traffic lights and crosswalks. Navigating the streets of Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City is more than a challenge, it's a thrilling art form. As you step into the chaos, the rumble of motorbikes fills the air and the orchestrated madness shifts just enough to let you make your way through. 8. Smoking culture. Smoking in Vietnam feels like stepping back into the mid-20th century, a time when cigarettes symbolized relaxation, status, and social connection. Today, this culture remains vibrant. Stroll through a bustling cafe, a crowded market, or even a public office, and you'll see people lighting up with ease. This image sharply contrasts with countries like the United States, where strict indoor smoking bans and high taxes have pushed tobacco use to the fringes of society. In Vietnam, however, smoking is still an integral part of daily life. As of 2024, an estimated 37% of adult men in Vietnam are regular smokers, compared to fewer than 15% in the United States. This significant difference underscores how cultural norms and smoking regulations vary widely across the globe. The prevalence of smoking in Vietnam is both surprising and captivating. Picture this: a man casually smoking in a restaurant just a few meters from families enjoying their meals, or someone puffing on a cigarette near students waiting for a bus. In rural areas, older men often gather under the shade of banyan trees, sharing stories while smoking traditional water pipes. Even airports, which are tightly regulated in many countries, often have smoking areas mere steps from the main lounges. It's a scene reminiscent of an era when smoking was an everyday activity, far removed from the health-conscious policies seen in the modern West. Yet, it offers a fascinating lens through which to view shifting cultural norms. In Vietnam, smoking is more than a habit, it's a social ritual, a way to bond with friends, and for older generations, a nostalgic link to their youth. However, change is on the horizon. Younger Vietnamese, influenced by global health campaigns and Western trends, are increasingly turning away from tobacco. This generational divide hints at a future where the culture might evolve. For now, though, the streets of Vietnam still carry the familiar scent of tobacco smoke. 9. Financial scams and currency practices. Vietnam is a fascinating and adventurous destination, but like any country, it comes with its own set of challenges, financial scams among them. From card theft and currency exchange tricks to counterfeit bills, travelers should stay vigilant to avoid potential pitfalls. While most people in Vietnam are welcoming and trustworthy, scammers tend to target tourists, knowing they are unfamiliar with local customs and financial practices. ATMs in less secure locations are sometimes tampered with, and unofficial currency exchange points can leave you with less money than you expected. According to the 2024 report by the Vietnam National Administration of Tourism, financial scams remain one of the most common issues reported by international visitors. To stay safe, choose a secure travel debit or credit card with fraud protection features. Services like Wise, formerly TransferWise, offer multi-currency travel cards that let you freeze your account instantly if needed. Always withdraw cash from ATMs inside banks or reputable establishments, as standalone machines are more likely to be compromised. Currency exchange is another area where caution is essential. Gold shops and pawn shops often provide competitive rates and are popular among locals, but these businesses are not as regulated as banks. While the rates might seem attractive, the risks often outweigh the benefits. Stick to official exchange services or bank-operated ATMs to minimize your chances of losing money. Counterfeit currency, while rare, can be an issue. Always check large bills, 500,000 Vietnamese dong or more, carefully, especially if received in dimly lit areas. One of the most intriguing aspects of Vietnam's financial culture is the widespread use of gold dealers for exchanging money. These dealers offer appealing rates, making them a preferred option for locals and seasoned travelers alike. However, their lack of strict oversight can feel unsettling to visitors accustomed to the rigid regulations of Western banking systems. For many, the idea of exchanging money at a gold shop might seem unusual, but in Vietnam, it's a practical part of the informal economy. Despite these challenges, Vietnam remains one of the world's most budget-friendly travel destinations. Just a few dollars can cover a delicious meal, transportation, or an unforgettable experience. By understanding the financial landscape, you can fully enjoy these perks while avoiding unnecessary stress. 10. Why the differences? To understand why Vietnam's customs and traditions differ so greatly from Western norms, we must explore the cultural roots that shaped these unique practices. Vietnam's traditions are deeply rooted in its rich history, enduring values, and practical adaptations to its environment. Vietnam's long history of resilience is visible in every part of its culture. For over 1,000 years, the country was under Chinese rule, leaving a profound influence through Confucian values like filial piety and respect for elders. Later, French colonial rule introduced Western architecture and Catholic traditions, which blended seamlessly with local custom. The Vietnam War also played a significant role in shaping the nation's identity. It fostered a resourceful and united spirit, seen in traditions like using every part of an animal in cooking or repurposing sidewalks as bustling markets, practices born out of necessity during times of scarcity. At its heart, Vietnam is a community-centered society. Family is the foundation of life, shaping everything from housing arrangements to career choices. Traditions like multi-generational living or sharing meals at gravesides reflect this deeply rooted sense of connectedness. Unlike Western individualism, Vietnamese culture prioritizes collective well-being. For instance, the widespread use of love hotels isn't about indulgence, but serves as a practical solution for couples seeking privacy in multi-generational homes. Vietnam's environment and economy have also influenced its customs. Take the chaotic motorbike culture, for example. In crowded cities with limited infrastructure, motorbikes offer an affordable and efficient way to navigate narrow streets and heavy traffic. Similarly, the vibrant street food scene isn't just about flavor, it's a response to the fast pace of urban life. Vendors quickly set up wherever foot traffic flows, meeting the needs of busy locals with flexibility and creativity. While these customs might seem unusual at first glance, they reflect something deeper, a culture built on resilience, adaptability, and a strong sense of community. Vietnam's traditions challenge us to see the world differently, revealing how history and necessity shape practices that are both unique and universal. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. Click on the video that appears on your screen right now. I'm sure you'll love this content. Comment below about the next country you want to see featured on our channel. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video. Thanks for joining us. Leave a comment, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more interesting videos. See you in the next video.